If someone gave you 1 extra hour today, just one, what would you do with it? Would you scroll, sleep, complain, or would you finally start the thing you keep postponing? Because the truth is this, one day, you will beg for 1 more hour, and no one will give it to you. This is not a story about success. This is a story about regret. And it begins with a man named Elion. Elion was not a bad man. He was not lazy in the obvious way. He woke up each morning, went to work, came home, ate dinner, watched shows, checked his phone, laughed at jokes, complained about life, and promised himself that tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow he would start reading. Tomorrow he would learn that skill. Tomorrow he would work on that idea he believed could change his life. Tomorrow became a comfortable word. It made him feel productive without producing anything at all. When Elion was 22, he believed time was endless. When people talked about urgency, he smiled. Life is long, he said. I have time. He used his nights for entertainment, his mornings for excuses, and his weekends for recovery from a life he wasn't even building. He was always tired, but never fulfilled. Always busy, but never effective. There was one thing Elion loved deeply, the idea of potential. He loved imagining the man he could become. In his mind, he was disciplined, focused, respected. In reality, he was distracted, inconsistent, and waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. Years passed quietly. Not with pain. Not with drama. Just quietly. That's how time steals from you. It doesn't shout. It whispers. At 28, Elion began to notice something strange. People he once looked down on were moving ahead. Not because they were smarter. Not because they were luckier. But because they had started earlier. They used time like a tool, while he used it like a toy. Still, he wasn't alarmed. Everyone has their own pace, he said. Another comforting lie. By 32, his dreams had become smaller. Not because he wanted less, but because hoping started to hurt. Each year that passed added weight to the question he avoided. What have I done with my time? He drowned that question with noise, social media, parties, endless videos, opinions that felt like progress, but deep down, something was rotting. Then one ordinary evening, something happened that changed everything. Elion received a call about his former mentor. A man who once told him, time will either promote you or expose you. The mentor had passed away suddenly. At the funeral, Elion stood among people sharing stories of impact, discipline, and purpose. These were not famous people. They were focused people. People who showed up daily. People who respected time. As Elion listened, a heavy realization settled in his chest. No one would ever stand at his funeral and say, he had so much potential. Potential does not echo. Actions do. That night, Elion went home and couldn't sleep. Not because he was busy, but because he was awake for the first time in years. He looked at his life honestly, not with excuses, not with comparison, just truth. And the truth was brutal. He was not where he should be, not because life was unfair, but because he kept spending time instead of investing it. Days turned into weeks of discomfort. Not the discomfort of hard work, but the discomfort of awareness. Every wasted hour now felt loud. Every distraction felt expensive. He began to understand something most people learn too late. Time doesn't just pass. It charges interest. At 36, Elion faced a crossroads. He could continue numbing himself and blame age, or he could accept responsibility and rebuild. This is where most people quit. Because starting late hurts the ego. Starting late forces humility. It means admitting you wasted years you can never get back. Elion chose humility. He didn't transform overnight. He didn't wake up at 4 a.m. with superhuman discipline. He started small, but he started intentionally. 1 hour a day. No phone. No noise. Just focused effort. 1 hour felt insignificant at first, but he protected it like his life depended on it, because in a way, It did. He studied. He practiced. He failed quietly. He improved slowly. And something powerful happened. His relationship with time changed. He stopped asking, "How can I escape today?" and started asking, "How can I use today?" At 40, Elion was not rich, not famous, but he was dangerous in the best way, focused, consistent, grounded. People began to notice the calm intensity about him, the confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. He had become someone younger Elion would admire, but regret still visited him. Not the regret of who he became, but the regret of when he started. He would sit alone some nights, thinking about the years he donated to distractions, the conversations that led nowhere, the days he traded for comfort. And the thought that haunted him most was this: if he had started earlier, his life would be unrecognizable. At 47, Elion faced a health scare. Nothing dramatic, but enough to remind him that the clock was still ticking. Time doesn't stop forgiving you just because you improved. That's when he truly understood the cruelty of wasted time. You can correct direction, but you cannot rewind distance. In his 50s, Elion began mentoring younger people. Not with lectures, but with honesty. He didn't tell them to hustle. He told them to respect time. He told them this truth: you don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. He told them that boredom is not the enemy. Regret is. One day, a young man asked him, "What's your biggest regret?" Elion didn't hesitate. "I waited," he said. "I waited for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect confidence. And while I waited, life moved on." That night, Elion wrote a letter to his younger self. Not to shame him, but to warn him. He wrote about mornings wasted, evenings lost, years blurred together. He wrote about how comfort steals ambition quietly. He wrote about how discipline feels hard at first, but regret feels heavy forever. And now, this story reaches you. Because Elion's story is not rare. It is common. Most people do not fail loudly. They fail slowly. They fail by postponing, by scrolling, by saying later, by assuming time is cheap. Listen carefully. Time is the most expensive thing you will ever spend, because once it's gone, there is no refund. You may feel behind. You may feel tired. You may feel like you've already wasted too much. But the lesson is not to drown in regret. The lesson is to wake up before it's too late. Use this moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. This moment. Because years from now, you will either thank yourself for starting now, or you will hate yourself for delaying again. The regret of wasted time is quiet, heavy, and permanent. The reward of using your time wisely is slow, powerful, and life-changing. Choose wisely. Your future self is watching.